Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Cargill Meat Solutions. Cargill Meat Solutions takes pride in their community just like they do in the products they provide to their consumers, part of the KSIR B106 Scholarship Program. Let's start out with the JV matches. Right now we've got Seth Gapter out there at 132 pounds for the Mustangs. He's wrestling against AJ Fernandez. Right now in the match, he trails by a score of 4-2. He's been taken down twice and has earned 2 escapes. Now he's working on a takedown. Gets that, and he'll tie the match up 4-4. At 138 pounds, we'll have a JV match with Moises Sebastian wrestling against Andy Ackerson of the Windsor Wizards. Gregory Ferguson for the Mustangs will wrestle at 145 in a JV match, and he'll take on Michael Brown. At 160 pounds, Oliver Wunsch will wrestle against Noah Winnick. And the final JV match, Chris Shriver going to be wrestling junior varsity tonight instead of up at 182 pounds varsity. He'll be wrestling 170 pounds JV. Should be getting a better match against Joseph Keller. Seth Gapter fighting off his back right now with 27 seconds left in the match. Got a takedown. Gave up the escape and then was reversed. Or was taken down, and now we'll get the 3 back points, but I think he thought he may have had an illegal headlock, but he had just lifted up high, and that arm was getting up. Gapter's arm was getting pretty high up, and so potentially dangerous was called. So they stop it. Right now, an automatic escape awarded. They want to go on their feet, and that makes the score 10-5. Gapter is trailing. He gets a last-second takedown in the first period to try and close the gap in this match. He'll be down 10-7. Nope, gives up a last 2 seconds escape. So when it's all said and done, he'll trail 11-7 at the end of the first period. I'm going to have to check and see what weight we start at tonight. I believe we're going to be starting at 106 pounds. So at the top of the order, here's what your varsity lineup looks like tonight. Mustangs, of course, open at 106. Jonathan Lewis gets a forfeit for Windsor. At 113 pounds, Ian Wingstrom will be wrestling against Joel Solomon. At 120 pounds, Cody Carpenter's in there against Jacob Messimer. At 126 pounds, Justin Wood still not back from that dislocated kneecap. Sounds like they are working hard to try and get him back for regionals. So regionals might be the next time he wrestles for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. So with that weight open, Seth Villa will get a forfeit for Windsor. At 132 pounds, Jacob Gherkin is wrestling against Vince Hooley. For the Mustangs at 138, Caleb Sills wrestles against Josh Donkel. Powers Wilnow is in the lineup at 145 pounds, and he'll be wrestling against Kenan Lantieri. Gapter was just pinned at 132 pounds JV. So our next JV match will be at 138 pounds with Moises Sebastian stepping out against Andy Ackerson. At 152 pounds, the varsity match, Derek Gray is out there against Troy Carroll. Brandon Hoffman at 160 pounds, he'll be taking on Vinny Gonzalez. Ben Hokenadels at 170, he's taking on Brandon Browser from the Windsor Wizards. And as we said, Mustangs are open tonight at 182. Chris Shriver is bumped up and wrestled at 182, but we'll get a better match with a 170-pound JV match tonight. So Cosme Martinez will take a forfeit at 182. Jesus Ibarra wrestling for the Mustangs at 195. He'll take on Jacob Winter. Mustangs are open at 220. Jack Cuck will pick up a forfeit. And Angel Del Campo will round things out at 285 as he takes on Robert Bishop Cotner for the Windsor Wizards. So that's your lineup. We are in our second junior varsity match here of the night. 138 pounds for the Mustangs. It's Moises Sebastian out on the mat wrestling against Andy Ackerson. Those two wrestlers are 30 seconds into the first period. No score. Ackerson with a shot. They go out of bounds before any takedown can be awarded. Here comes a shot by Sebastian off the whistle, trying to grab a single leg. He's got it picked up high. Can he finish it off? Nope, loses hold of the single leg, and they'll split apart and come back to the center. Minute 10 to go in the first period, no score. Second JV match of the night. Have 5 JV matches on the docket. The Mustangs do have 3 open weights, so there'll be 11 varsity matches tonight. Under a minute to go now in the first period of this JV match. Here's a shot by Ackerson. Started with a single leg, sneaks behind with a double leg, and Sebastian makes his way onto his feet to avoid the takedown, but right as they stumble out of bounds, Sebastian will give up the takedown. So Moises Sebastian trailing 2-0 with 35 seconds to go in the first period. Ackerson wants to give. No. Initially he had said he wanted to give the free escape. He gave, what he did is, that's what confused me. He signaled that he wanted to give the free escape, and then he proceeded to climb on top of Moises Sebastian. And wow, I don't even know how this happened. Moises Sebastian has all of a sudden got Andy Ackerson on his back in a reverse headlock. Ackerson just fell off the whistle. I think he was confused about what he did a moment ago. And there's a pin for Moises Sebastian. He'll take it. 1 minute and 44 seconds the pin time for Moises Sebastian. So he gives the Mustangs their first win of the night in a JV match.
The next JV match is 145 pounds.
So 145. Michael Brower and Gregory Ferguson of the Mustangs.
And for the Mustangs, Gregory Ferguson.
Ferguson, a freshman. They shake hands and we'll be underway with our third varsity match of the night. Two wrestlers work forehead to forehead. Split apart and come back into the center. And Ferguson will give up the takedown. Brower just shoved him down and was able to spin behind for the easy takedown. And now Brower lets up Gregory Ferguson. The Mustang freshman down 2-1. Here's a fireman's carry, just dumped in for a 2-point takedown for Brower. So Ferguson now down 4-1, minute 17 to go in the first period. Brower going to let up Ferguson again. Shoots a double leg now. Going to play the takedown game. Gets his third takedown in a minute. Going to let him right back up again. Makes it 6-3. Here's a single leg by Brower. Treetops it way up high and dumps down Ferguson and may have a hold of a cradle, but he lost it. Now he mashes Ferguson down flat on his stomach. The score is 8-3. Mustangs Gregory Ferguson trailing. 37 seconds to go in the first period. Now Ferguson stacked up and he's in trouble. That'll be a pin for Brower. Pin time 129. So Mustangs 1-2 in the junior varsity matches. And that'll bring up Oliver Wunsch for the Mustangs. He's going to wrestle Noah Winnick. Wunsch slowly making his way over. And now the two wrestlers ready to go. Our fourth of 5 JV matches here. And we're underway. Winnick on a short fireman's carry. Gets a hold of that leg and tilts over Wunsch. Takes him down for the 2 points. Uses the corkscrew move to put Wunsch straight on his back and trying to crank it tight. Oliver Wunsch in trouble. 25 seconds in. He's pretty flat, and he'll get pinned in 26 seconds. So the Mustangs are 1-3 in our JV matches. Final JV match of the night will be Chris Schreiber wrestling against Joseph Keller. Schreiber wrestling at 170 in a JV match rather than 182 at varsity. See how he does here. Two wrestlers forehead to forehead. Quickly, 20 seconds gone in the first period. Two wrestlers continue to spin just outside the 10-foot circle. Shriver in on a shot. Trying to pull up a single leg. He'll drive through. They'll go out of bounds. He just ran out of real estate. Would have come out on top, but ran out of room. So they'll come back to the center. Minute 23 in the first period of our final JV match of the night. Here's another shot. Shriver trying to pull in a single leg, but his opponent, Joseph Keller, is stretched way out, sprawled way out, and trying to stay far away. Now they split apart. And now Keller on a single leg, trying to pick up the right leg of Chris Shriver. Reaches over to trip the opposite leg. He gets it, and Shriver will be taken down. 50 seconds to go in the first period. Chris Shriver trailing by a score of 2-0. Big power half Nelson. And nice hip work by Shriver. He just hips right over the top. And they'll go out side by side near the edge of the mat. No change of control. Thought Shriver had a chance there to get it. Couldn't get it turned. So Shriver will still work from the bottom with 29 seconds to go. And again, we're going to get the free escape. So it'll be a 1-point escape. And they'll start on their feet with 29 seconds left in the period. Chris Shriver trailing 2-1. On their feet, forehead to forehead, each looking for control of an elbow. Good shot by Keller, and he'll take down Shriver. With 8 seconds left in the period and go up by a score of 4-1. The time will expire in the first period. Chris Shriver is down by a score of 4-1. We'll head into the second frame. Choice goes to Shriver, and he'll defer it off. We'll start the second period on our feet. Shriver with the first shot right off the whistle, but the pressure by Keller keeps him away. They remain on their feet. Working right on the 10-foot circle. Keller with a shot. Shriver keeps him away, and they're back on their feet. They continue to dance in the center of the circle. Shoving match, and Shriver's pushing Keller away. Now gets shoved back into the center. Almost 40 seconds gone here in this second period, and a couple attempts at shots, but nobody's getting very far. Now here's Keller picking up a single leg, and he's about to get Shriver taken down. Shriver trying to hit a switch as they go down, but he does not get it, so he'll be taken down. Chris Shriver now trailing 6-1. Keller lets him up, so it'll be an escape, and Shriver's trailing 6-2 with a minute to go in the second period. They're on their feet. Chris Shriver needs a takedown. Here comes another double leg shot and another takedown for Joseph Keller. So the Mustangs, Chris Shriver now down 8-2 with 40 seconds to go in the second period. Again, Keller lets up Shriver, making it 8-3. 30 seconds left in the period. They work back into the center. 20 seconds left in the second period now. Keller spinning around clockwise around Shriver. Now Keller on another single leg shot. Chris Shriver trying to block him off with 3 seconds left in the period, trying to hang on and avoid the takedown. He'll avoid the takedown, but he'll trail by a score of 8-3 as they head to the final 2 minutes of this match. Shriver was going to start on the bottom, but again, the free escape will put him on his feet, and he'll get the point, making it 8-4. So they start on their feet. Shriver down by 4. Final JV match of the night. We've got 11 varsity matches tonight. Take that back. We have 10 varsity matches tonight. They dance on their feet. Chris Shriver trailing by 4. Here he is on a single leg shot. Initially had pretty good position, but Keller is able to sprawl pretty far away from him and put all the weight on the shoulders of Chris Shriver. Shriver still trying to pull in that right leg of Joseph Keller. And now eventually Keller is able to pressure the head of Shriver away and spin around for another 2-point takedown. Immediately he lets Shriver up, making it 10-5. Under a minute to go in the match, and Fort Morgan's Chris Shriver down by 5. Needs a big move here. Keller reaching for a single leg, gives up on that. Shriver was looking for the headlock, but he'll slip out of it and they'll go out of bounds. So we're down to 36 seconds left in the match. Our varsity matches will start at 132 pounds tonight. Jacob Gherkin getting warmed up. He'll be the first varsity wrestler for the Mustangs. Here comes another takedown for Joseph Keller. Puts him up 12-5 with 20 seconds left in the match. Time running thin for Chris Shriver. Down by a score of 12-5 in a 170-pound JV match. Final JV match of the night. We'll have 10 varsity matches coming up right after this. Final score will be 12-5. Chris Shriver takes the loss. So that'll lead us up to our opening varsity matchup. And our first match of the night is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance, locally in Fort Morgan and Brush, offers home, health, auto, farm, business, and workers' compensation insurance. That's Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance bringing us our varsity match here tonight. So we start at 132 pounds. Jacob Gherkin will wrestle against Vince Hooley, and then it'll be Caleb Sills and Powers Wilnow in tonight at 145 for the Mustangs. So that's the schedule. Our scheduled matches here tonight. Had a fun one last Thursday night. The Mustangs traveled over to Sterling, wrestled in the Tiger Den, and that was an exciting match all the way. A little bit of a chess match between the two coaches. The Sterling Tigers bumping up several of their wrestlers to get some matchups and work around some open weights. And were able to take an advantage, but then the Mustangs countered at the end of the night by bumping up Cody Carpenter from 120 to 126, and that move paid off as well. The Mustangs were able to win the night with a Caleb Sills pin, which put them on top 36-34 to win the duel. So we're ready for our varsity match, our first match. Jacob Gherkin is out there. Vince Hooley for the Windsor Wizards. Mustangs wearing the maroon singlets with the white trim. And the Windsor Wizards wearing white singlets with a little bit of the maroon and yellow. These two guys go right after each other on the whistle. Here's Gherkin trying to pull in a single leg. He's down on his knees. Steps over that leg. Had Hooley knocked down for a moment, then he slips underneath, gets his 2 points. Hooley immediately onto his feet, but a good side drag by Gherkin puts him right back down on the mat. So Gherkin gets the early points here, up 2-zip, riding. Minute 23 to go in the first period of our opening match of varsity wrestling tonight. They'll slip out of bounds. Gherkin will ride. Gherkin jumps on the right side. And an early jump by Gherkin. So after the caution, they'll reset. Hooley up onto his feet. Jacob Gherkin picking up the ankle, lifting it up high, trying to trip the opposite ankle. Hooley's bouncing around on his right leg, and Gherkin is able to knock him down and follow him. Gherkin all of a sudden gets a hold of an arm bar and slipped out of bounds. Was just about to start walking around the head to try and earn some back points, but he had to step out of bounds to do it. Had great position, just ran out of room. So off the whistle, Hooley tries to get up onto his feet again, but Gherkin will pick those ankles. And he'll drive Hooley back down to his stomach. Gherkin leading 2-0, 45 seconds to go in the first period. Hooley tries to hit a sit-out. Gherkin clinging to the ankles, and now Hooley up pretty much on top of him, but Jacob Gherkin just holding on to an ankle, and he's waiting for a stalemate call here. Nope, now he comes into a little bit better position. And he actually comes into a headlock. He steps into a headlock, and all of a sudden he's got Hooley on his back. Gherkin was about to lose control, and all of a sudden turned over into a headlock, and now he's trying to sink it flat and go for the pin. He's got 5 seconds. Can he settle it back for the pin call at the end of the first period? Final few seconds, he is not going to get it. But he'll sure take those back points. So Gherkin will go up 5-0 as we head into the second period. They're going to start on their feet. So two wrestlers on their feet. Gherkin all of a sudden has a 5-0 lead. An attempt at a short fireman's carry by Hooley, but Gherkin was able to just crunch him back down, put him right onto his backside, and ends up with a 2-point takedown. He's back down around the ankles of Hooley again as they go out of bounds. But he gets the 2, and he'll go up by a score of 7-0. Gherkin wants the free escape, so he'll give the escape. They're going to be on their feet, and Gherkin leads by a score of 7-1. That rule change a few years ago, allowing wrestlers to just give away the free escape. In the past, you actually had to ride and let a wrestler up. Now you can just tell the official, start us on our feet, and your opponent gets the 1 point. Seeing wrestlers use that more and more. Just about every one of the JV Windsor wrestlers used it. Here's Gherkin riding out to the side, hanging on to a single leg, trying to spin in control, and he'll get it. So he gets another takedown, so that 1 point escape that he gave up was worth it, because now he leads 9-1. 52 seconds left in the second period. And in this duel, points are going to be at a premium. Right now, it's an 8-point lead for Jacob Gherkin with 46 seconds to go in the second period. And every additional point the Mustangs can gain will be important. They're going to be giving up 24 points in forfeits. So they're going to need some pins to make up for that. Gherkin continues to ride. 30 seconds to go in the second period. He's got Hooley on a hip. It's like he's trying to walk around and reinforce a half Nelson, but he'll lose that. 15 seconds left in the period. Gherkin riding off to the right side. Gherkin trying to get control of a wrist. Period about to come to a close here. He gets the arm bar, but he's not going to have time to run it. Started to walk around the head. If he'd have started that about 10 seconds sooner, he could have cashed in some back points, but he won't get them. But he will lead 9-1 at the end of the second period. Gherkin starts from the bottom. Hits his sit out off the whistle, and then gets driven right back down. Now he turns, does get himself turned back in, has a hold of a leg. Gherkin in pretty good position here. Hooley will let him up. That makes the score 10-1. Gherkin gets another takedown. Puts him up 12-1. So he's in major decision territory here. A little tilt, and he's going to earn some back points out of this. He's going to get all 3 of the back points. So give up on the hold. Actually, he only got 2 back points out of it. So that puts him up 14-1. He's got 57 seconds left in the match. Gherkin can turn over Hooley one more time here, get some more back points. A technical fall would be a big benefit to the Fort Morgan squad. 44 seconds left in the match. Now he steps over that arm. He's got it stacked up. Here's some more back points coming. This will be the technical fall or the pin. Which is it going to be with 30 seconds left in the match? They're going to go out of bounds, but we're going to get a technical fall. So it's 17-1. Jacob Gherkin gets the win. He'll get 5 points for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. So 5 points go on the scoreboard for the Mustangs. Edwards Wright Price Market in Flowerland, located at 1201 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. Stop by and get what you need to refuel on game days at Edwards Wright Price Market in Flowerland. Caleb Sills out on the mat for the Mustangs, wrestling against Josh Donkel. Sills was in on a shot. Big hard crossface keeps him away, and he'll get taken down. Immediately Donkel lets him up. They're on their feet. 2-1, Caleb Sills trailing. Mustangs lead in the duel after the first points of the match. Sills gets taken down again. They'll slip out of bounds. Caleb Sills trailing by a score of 4-1. Minute and a half left in the first period. Again, there's that free escape, so it's going to be 4-2. They're on their feet. They work forehead to forehead. Minute 20 to go in the first period. Again, the Mustangs are giving up 24 points just in forfeits. So that's a pretty big hill to overcome. Single leg shot by Donkel and lifts up Sills, goes all the way over, finally is able to sneak behind and get the 2, so it's 6-2. Caleb Sills trailing. Again, Donkel gives up the escape, making it 6-3. 40 seconds to go in the period. They'll go out of bounds with 31 ticks left on the clock in the first period. Caleb Sills is trailing by a score of 6-3. Donkel with that same single leg stacks up Caleb Sills and is going to get another 2 points. 20 seconds left in the period, and Josh Donkel leading by a score of 8-3. Sills working from flat on his stomach. Looks like he's going to be content to just ride out the end of this first period. Sills down by a score of 8-3. We're going to go on our feet here in the second period. Sills down by 5. Been taken down 4 times in the first period. So they work from the center, each trying to get hand control. Here's Sills in on a shot, got a single leg and lost control of it. Just couldn't get it pulled in time. And Donkel pretty fast. He's able to spin around behind. It's another takedown. Donkel will let him up, making it 10-4. Minute 20 to go in the second period. Donkel will slide back to the center of the ring. Caleb Sills down by 6. Front headlock put on by Donkel, and he spins around and gets another 2. 12-4. Josh Donkel on top here. shoves Sills away, gives him the escape, and it's 12-5. 55 seconds left in the second period. Sills down by 7. Here comes another single leg by Josh Donkel. Try to lift up that leg. Picks it way up high and knocks down Sills and will get his 2 points. A takedown clinic being put on by Josh Donkel. 14-5 is the score right now with 27 seconds left in the second period. And again, team points. There's a caution for stalling against Caleb Sills. So we'll go back to the center and try it again with 6 seconds left. And again, the difference between a decision, a major decision, and a technical fall, each one of those points pretty critical. Right now, Caleb Sills trails by 9. Second period comes to a close. 14-5 is the score. We'll go to the third period, and Caleb Sills is going to ride. The Mustang senior jumps on the left side. Donkel up to his feet right off the whistle. Sills, tight waist, is able to hang on, gets him back down to the referee's position, comes in with a couple hard left cross faces. And they'll go out of bounds. So they'll come back to the center. And Sills got going a little bit quickly off the whistle. So Caleb Sills riding, jumps on the left side. We're underway. Minute 45 to go in the third period. Caleb Sills down by 9. Needs to come up with something big here. He gives up the escape. Donkel makes his way up onto his feet, turns back in for the 1 point. It's 15-5 right now. Josh Donkel leading the Mustang senior Caleb Sills. They shove each other apart and go out of bounds. Sills in on a shot, but a fairly strong front headlock, and now just pressure on the head by Josh Donkel, and he'll get another 2. 17-5. There's the escape. 17-6, so an 11-point lead for Josh Donkel. We're down to 50 seconds left in the match. Another front headlock put on by Donkel. Slips back for another 2-point takedown. 19-6 the score right now. Caleb Sills is trailing. Down to 25 seconds. Now there's the still no escape award. They broke apart briefly, but Sills not given the escape, and now Donkel sprawled out on top of Sills. Stalemate called from there. Donkel's going to give the free escape, making it 19-7. So they're on their feet. Final 13 seconds left in the match. Another double leg takedown by Josh Donkel, and he'll get it. The final of this match is going to be 21-7. The scoreboard doesn't even go that high in the on the match there. So major decision will give Josh Donkel 4 points. Quick timeout. We're back in 30 seconds here on Morgan County's B106. Powers Will now on the mat at 145 pounds, and he's got his hands full with Kenan Lantieri. Lantieri took him down immediately off the whistle, and they went out of bounds. And now Lantieri takes him down again, and Will now fighting off his back. Just 20 seconds gone in the first period. Mustang freshman Powers Will now trying to stay off his back. Big tight headlock on him. He did slip out of bounds, so he will give up the 3 back points. And then there's another free escape, so they're on their feet, and Will now down 7-2. Lantieri slips in behind him. 9-2. Lantieri looking for a power half Nelson. Now just walks right over the head. And Powers will now fighting off his back again. 1:05 to go in the first period. Lantieri switches it off to a reverse half Nelson, just trying to lift the neck up of Will now. Will now still able to bridge a little bit with his head and get a shoulder up off the mat, but the grip is tightening. Will now able to get rolled back over to his stomach. So now it's 12-2. 33 seconds left in the first period. Will now is able to get up to his base, and Lantieri just shoves him away for the escape and will drive back into him and resettle right back into a reverse half Nelson. Kind of reinforced with the leg there. I don't think Will now is going to be able to get pinned here. He's able to keep that right shoulder up. He's got 10 seconds to fight through the period. Makes his way back to his stomach. He'll give up the 3 back points. And at the end of one, just like that, Will now is down 17-3. But give him credit. He's been fighting off his back. And the choice goes to Will now. He wants to work from the bottom. Initially, Lantieri had said he wanted to give him the free escape, but then changed his mind apparently. Powers Will now trailing by a bunch. He's down 17-3. Any back points here would be the technical fall. And here he gets cranked over in a corkscrew. Will now needs to fight off his back. The 3 back points would be a technical fall, but if he can at least get off his back, he can avoid the pin, which would save a team point. So Will now is going to lose this match either way, but there is the pin. So 2 minutes and 36 seconds. The pin. So that puts the Wizards up 10-5 in the duel right now. T.O. Charlie's. See T.O. Charlie's for a great used car truck today. If you don't see what you want on the lot, they'll find it for you. 700 West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. That's T.O. Charlie's. Derek Gray, the senior for the Mustangs, out on the mat wrestling against Troy Carroll. Mustangs opened the duel with a win by Jacob Gurkin, a technical fall. But then Caleb Sills lost a major decision, and Powers Will now was just pinned. So Derek Gray trying to get the Mustangs back on the winning track. They're out on the mat, forehead to forehead. Already almost 30 seconds gone in the first period. They continue to work in the circle. Get over on the far edge near the home stands. Now they'll come apart and work their way back towards the center. First shot of the match comes from Carroll, and good sprawl by Derek Gray. Stays away, and they'll go out of bounds. So now they come back to the center with a minute to go in the first period. They go forehead to forehead, then they break apart. Now they're working their way clockwise around the 10-foot circle. Derek Gray doing some long laps. He's pretty much following the outer ring of the circle. Made it almost all the way around the ring. 30 seconds to go in the first period. Still no score. Mustangs trailing in the duel 10-5. Each wrestler with some opportunities, but neither has taken a very good shot yet. There's a warning for stalling. And the first period will come to a close, no score. A couple of shots were attempted by Carroll, so the stalling warning goes against Gray. They're going to start the second period on their feet as well. They continue to work. Now here's another shot. So Troy Carroll grabbed the headgear of Derek Gray, and Gray will get the first point of the match on a penalty. So he grabbed the headgear and then went in for a shot, had a good shot, but apparently that's because he distracted Derek Gray by latching onto his headgear. Now here's Carroll with a single leg. He's got Derek Gray down onto a hip. Gray hitting a switch immediately out of it, and he's able to stay far enough away that no takedown is awarded. So they're back on their feet. Here's another shot by Carroll. Looks like he's in on a pretty deep double leg. Gray trying to get his long legs away to sprawl back. Minute 10 to go in the second period. Derek Gray leading 1-0 on a penalty point. He's able to break away, but Derek Gray has stayed completely away from Troy Carroll in this match. He's already been cautioned for stalling. Yep, there's the second time, and so that's a penalty point. So our score now is tied 1-1 on penalty points. Each wrestler receiving a penalty point. Now here's a shot by Carroll, and he's got a good deep double leg takedown. Gray hits the mat hard, and he just doesn't look good. I don't know if he's not feeling well tonight or looks slow and looks a little bit gimpy. Makes his way back to the center. He's down by a score of 3-1. There's a stand up the escape by Derek Gray. So it's 3-2. And then Gray is taken down again on a single leg. Carroll just picked up that ankle, put it up high. And Carroll is going to let him go again. They're going to go out of bounds. No, they didn't go out of bounds. So we'll go with the free escape again. They don't do much with riding at Windsor apparently this year. Every opportunity they have just awarded that free escape and then gone for takedowns. Been pretty successful with the takedowns though. 14 seconds left in the second period. We'll get a stalemate call as Carroll was in on a single leg, but Derek Gray keeping him far enough away to earn that stalemate. 10 seconds left in the period. Gray's backing up again. In trouble of giving up another stalling point. Another shot by Carroll. Yep, there's the next stalling call. So it's 6-3, and now Gray tries to hit a shot, but he jumps early, so he'll get cautioned. Now they're back. Period comes to a close. And Derek Gray is trailing 6-3 at the end of 2. We'll head to the final 2 minutes. Carroll was going to ride and gives up another free escape. So they're starting on their feet. 6-4. Derek Gray is trailing. Carroll in on another shot. Got the double leg, just trying to pop his head free and get control. Derek Gray in trouble, about to give up another 2 points. We'll get a stalemate from there. He did hang on enough, and in fact, we got some blood too, so while they get that cleaned up, let's take a quick timeout. We're back right after this here on Morgan County's B106. Derek Gray trails by a score of 6-4. We're at 152 pounds here in this matchup between the Fort Morgan Mustangs and the Windsor Wizards. And just looking ahead on the schedule here, what we've got coming up next, our next Mustang wrestling match will happen a week from Saturday. That'll be the Morgan County Triple Duel. Get you start time and details on that here shortly, but the Triple Duel will finish out the regular season, and then regional wrestling will happen. The Mustangs will be at Longmont High School February 9th and 10th. We'll be working that in on the air, and Then state wrestling the following weekend, the following Thursday, Friday, Saturday, will be on the air all 3 days at state wrestling on our sister station, 1010 KSIR, and of course KSIR.com. Looks like we've got all the blood cleaned up. Maybe. Our officials working a wet spot on the mat, just trying to get it all wiped up. All right, we got it taken care of, and we're ready to wrestle. Derek Gray is trailing 6-4. He's already been penalized for stalling a couple of times. Going to have to stay active here. He really needs a takedown with a minute and a half to go in the match. Here's a shot by Carroll. Driving a deep, big, hard crossface by Derek Gray, trying to keep him away. Hits a switch. Now is, if he can pop his leg free, nope. A re-switch by Troy Carroll will prevent Derek Gray from getting that takedown. Gray did a nice move hitting a switch out of that and nearly came back behind to get his 2 points, but Carroll stopped it right as they go out of bounds. Derek Gray trailing 6-4. Here's another shot by Carroll. Double underhook by Derek Gray. Gray in danger of being called for stalling again. They're on their feet. Down to 45 seconds left in the match. Forehead to forehead. Derek Gray has made almost no aggressive moves in the entire match. Down to 30 seconds left. Gray has got to get a shot and got to get something going here. Brandon Hoffman on deck at 160 pounds. 20 seconds left in this one. Crowd trying to encourage Derek Gray to take a shot, but he's still doing absolutely nothing. Carroll drives into him again, backs off from a shot, and Gray is able to push through and get the takedown. We're tied 6-6 at the end of the match. Derek Gray is able to come through and get the takedown to tie us up. So we're going to head to overtime here. So we're heading into our first overtime period. The two wrestlers are on their feet. Derek Gray finally was able to get what he needed at the end of regulation, but now can he get a takedown in overtime? Sure, he doesn't want to go into multiple overtimes here. 44 seconds left in the first overtime period. Carroll has had a whole bunch of shots in the match, but Derek Gray has been able to sneak in a takedown at a critical time. Here's a big, deep double leg takedown by Troy Carroll. Hard crossface by Derek Gray, stays away. But Gray still not aggressive. 20 seconds left in regulation. Another shot by Carroll, right on the edge of the mat. And Derek Gray tries to hit that same switch. He's able to do it and slip out of bounds, but 12 seconds left in the match, and Derek Gray, see if he can pull off a miracle like he did at the end of the third period. 8 seconds left in the period. Shot by Carroll, hard crossface. Neither wrestler with a whole lot of energy here as we go to the end of this period. Gray reaching back in, trying to pick an ankle at the end of the first overtime. And Gray defers. So now Derek Gray will ride. 30 seconds in this overtime period. Derek Gray going to jump on the right side. Side drag off the whistle. Here comes Carroll up onto his feet. Turns back in, drives into Derek Gray. There's the 2-point reversal. 13 seconds left in the second overtime. Gray trying to make his way up onto his base. But not a whole lot of energy there. So the second overtime period comes to a close. Derek Gray trailing 8-6. Now he will work from the bottom. Derek Gray is down 8-6. Final 30 seconds of this match. Gray still in his base position. Not a quick reaction off the whistle. 20 seconds left. Gray up onto his feet, gets dragged back down to a hip. 10 seconds. Gray running out of time. And Derek Gray's going to lose this one. 8-6 in the full overtime. So three more points for the Windsor Wizards. So here we go for Brandon Hoffman at 160 pounds, trying to put the Mustangs back on their winning ways against Vinny Gonzalez. We're underway in our 160-pound match. Hoffman, a big shove to the forehead of Vinny Gonzalez. Hoffman was looking for a bear hug, just trying to suck in Gonzalez, but he's able to keep his hips away. Big bear hug by Gonzalez, and he is out behind. He just got a takedown. Really? Hoffman never made it down to his knees, but the takedown is awarded. Huh. And then immediately, the free escape awarded, so they're on their feet again. See if we made Brandon Hoffman angry here. He trails 2-1 with 1:14 to go in the first period. Didn't think Brandon Hoffman really ever made it down to his knees on that takedown move. He did have Gonzalez behind him, but when they're on their feet, that's not a takedown. They're on their feet now, though, with 1 minute to go. And they'll slip out of bounds. Two wrestlers looking for wrist control. It's a tangled mess of arms down there right now. Now they break apart and they'll come back, try it again. 40 seconds left in the first period. Brandon Hoffman trails 2-1. Still not a lot going on. Slowly making their way around the circle, going clockwise. Hoffman reaches for a single leg, but he's got Gonzalez draped all the way on top of him. He's picking him up, and Hoffman close to the figure four around the head, but Gonzalez just draped on, hoping for a stalemate call, and actually he'll get the potentially dangerous call, so that'll stop it. And actually, the figure four goes around the head, so Brandon Hoffman will receive a penalty point. Windsor's coach complaining about the figure four call. From what I understand with the officials this year, that became kind of a point of emphasis, how that figure four works, and so a point is awarded. The free escape starts things off in the second period for Brandon Hoffman, so he's up 3-2. These two guys are side by side. Brandon Hoffman briefly rolled through on his back, and he got taken down again. So he gets taken down. He'll earn another escape, but he's down. Well, the free escape awarded later, so it's 4-4 right now. 4-4 with 1.5 minutes to go in the second period. Hoffman got a hold of a single leg near the edge of the mat, but they'll go out of bounds. So they come back to the center, and they'll try it again. Minute 18 to go in the second period. All tied 4-4. Continue with the head slaps. Hoffman pulling Vinny Gonzalez back into him. Hoffman trying to latch onto a front headlock now, but Gonzalez reaches for a single leg, and now they break apart again. Here's Hoffman with a single leg, but again it's on the edge of the mat, and they'll go out of bounds. So they'll come back to the center and try it again. Again with the head slaps. Slowly making their way around clockwise around that inner 10-foot circle of the mat. Now they'll drive out of bounds. Hoffman just flung Vinny Gonzalez out of bounds. 20 seconds left in the second period. Hoffman's got to get himself a little energy. Nice duck under move by Hoffman, and he'll get the takedown for 2. So Hoffman takes his first lead of the match, up 6-4. Briefly had Vinny Gonzalez stacked up, but not long enough for points. So at the end of 2 now, they'll lead. Brandon Hoffman will have the lead finally here, 6-4. Listening to Mustang Wrestling here at Fort Morgan High School against the Windsor Wizards. And you're listening to it on Morgan County's B106 KPRB Brush Fort Morgan. So we're in the third period now. Brandon Hoffman is up by a score now of 6-4. They're on their feet. Hoffman was looking for another duck under, couldn't get it. So we'll slip out of bounds. There's a long shot by Brandon Hoffman. He dove at the knee. Now just trying to use sheer strength. He's got Gonzalez picked all the way up. Now he's got him stacked up. Gonzalez is actually flat on his back. The crowd is going to scream because Gonzalez was flat on his back. There really wasn't any control, but his shoulders were sure flat on the mat for an extended period of time. They're going to continue to roll around. Hoffman hanging on to a single leg, but he's got Vinny Gonzalez right on top of the body. Minute to go in the third period. Hoffman still latched onto that leg. Surprised there's been no stalemate call here. There's the stalemate call eventually with 52 seconds left in the match. They're going to start on their feet. Brandon Hoffman is up by a score of 6-4. Front headlock put on by Hoffman, and they'll slip out of bounds. They'll come back in. 40 seconds left in the match. Here come the bear hugs. Nope, they'll go out of bounds before somebody falls. So they come back into the center. 30 seconds left in the match. Hoffman's up by 2, but he's getting driven around. Nice lateral drop, and he gets it. What a great move by Brandon Hoffman. Using the toes right on the edge of the mat. Hits that lateral drop, and he comes up smiling. That was pretty. Wow. He gets the 2 points to go up by a score of 8-4 with 25 seconds left in the match. Cranks over a big half Nelson, and power half Nelson, and he's getting back points waved off. 13 seconds left in the match. Hoffman's going for the pin. Can he settle it back? Mustangs could sure use a pin right here. 5 seconds. Is he going to get it? Clock winding down. I don't think he's going to get the pin. Nope, he won't get it. He'll get 3 back points. It'll be 11-4 will be the final score. Brandon Hoffman. So he'll win by 7, which is not a major decision, so he'll give his team 3 points. So the Mustangs now trail in the duel 13-8. But the Mustangs finally back on the winning track. Ben Hokenadel will stand out there now against Brandon Browser. So Hokenottle out there at 170 pounds, the senior for the Mustangs. There's pressure and Browser all the way out of bounds. And they'll come back to the center and try it again. We'll have an open weight right after this. The Mustangs will give up a forfeit. They split apart and come back in. Work back into the center now. Here's a shot by Hokenottle. Got a double leg, trying to drive through. Browser a big sprawl trying to keep away. And they'll break apart. Come back and try it again. Minute and 17 seconds left in the first period. Hokenottle shoves Browser away and they'll come back in. Now Browser on a double leg. Pretty good, deep double leg, but they're going to go down side by side. A nice move by Hokenottle to use his hips to end up on top of that. Wow. Thought that Hokenottle was going to be taken down, and he's able to work that for 2 points. Down to 37 seconds left in the first period. Hokenottle riding from the left side. Hokenottle looking for control of the wrist. He's got 20 seconds left in the period to try and work something. Hokenottle content to ride. Down to 10 seconds left. Hard crossface coming from the left side. And the first period's going to come to a close, and Ben Hokenottle will lead 2-0. So we'll come back to the center, get set for the second period. It's Browser's choice, and we're going to go takedowns here in the second. So we're underway. Browser with another shot, big deep drive, and he's right on the edge. No takedown awarded, though. Platte Valley Hearing Center, one of our sponsors tonight, 417 Main Street in Fort Morgan. Getting your hearing to its very best, that's Platte Valley Hearing Center. Back up to our feet. Minute 45 to go in the second period. Mustang 170-pounder Ben Hokenottle leads 2-0 in the second period. Here's another shot by Browser. Hokenottle trying to sprawl away from it, but Browser sinking that shot in deeper, trying to walk up the waist. Hokenottle has to give up, and he'll be taken down. We're tied 2-2. Hokenottle sitting on a hip, now works his way back down to his stomach. Ben Hokenottle trying to make his way back to his base position. Big power half Nelson from Browser coming around on the left side. 50 seconds left in the second period. Browser gives up on it. Hokenottle up to his feet. He gets the escape. Takes the lead 3-2. 40 seconds left in the second period. Here's Browser with another double leg shot. Hokenottle is able to latch around the waist and stay away from it once, but then Hokenottle drives back in, or Browser drives back in, and Hokenottle sits up on top, but does he have control? Yep, Hokenottle's got control with 12 seconds left in the second period. You better be careful here, though. He's sitting up pretty high, and now he's going to get some back points out of that? There's a 2 count. He does get 2 back points out of it, so a takedown and 2 more back points will put Ben Hokenottle up by a score of 7-2. Some nice work at the end of the period by the Mustang senior. Hokenottle is going to work from the bottom, and again a free escape awarded. I don't think we've seen a Windsor Wizard ride in this entire duel. So Hokanadel now leads 8-1. Or excuse me, 8-2. Hokanadel in on a shot. Trying to latch on to a single leg. Little short fireman's carry. They're out side by side. Hokanadel couldn't quite get Browser put on a hip. So they're back onto their feet now with a minute and a half to go in the match. Ben Hokanadel leads by a score of 8-2. Big double leg shot by Browser. He's going to take Hokanadel down, and Hokanadel sitting on his hip, trying to avoid being turned over. He'll make his way back to his stomach, but he's down, or he leads 8-4 with a minute and 8 seconds left in the match. Here comes Browser trying to crank over a big power half Nelson, and there goes Hokanadel. He gets turned over. Back points are coming. His left shoulder quite a ways off the mat. Not a very deep half Nelson, but Hokanadel's going to have to roll through. He's in trouble. Now he gets off his left shoulder up off the mat. It's getting tight. Ben Hokanadel is leading by points, but he's on his back with 38 seconds left. He's going to have to fight through this. If he can keep a shoulder up for another 30 seconds, he'll win the match, but it's either get pinned or win. Now he'll roll through and he'll come out on top. He'll give up the 3 back points and get a 2-point reversal. So that'll put him up 10-7. Wow, that was scary for Hokanadel. He goes up 10-7 with 15 seconds left in the match. Here's the sit out by Browser. But a good follow by Hokanadel. They're both beat out there. Final 5 seconds left in the match. And Ben Hokanadel is going to hang on and win this one. Nope. With 1 second left, we get a caution for stalling. So Hokanadel just has to shove Browser away here, and he'll win it. And there it is, 10-7. Ben Hokanadel gets the win. Gives the Mustangs their second win in a row. Got an open weight. The Mustangs will give up a forfeit at 182. Let's take a commercial break. We're back after this on Morgan County's B106. We're up to 195 pounds. Jesus Ibarra, the Mustang freshman out there, and he's wrestling Jacob Winter. And 2 different body shapes here. Winter just steps right over Ibarra, and he'll take him down on the edge of the mat. Had a big bear hug. Put Ibarra on his back. Ibarra actually rolled through, but they go out of bounds. So a free escape now awarded again. Now they're on their feet. I think Winter is a full, at least 8 inches taller than Jesus Ibarra. And Winter, pretty thin, but extremely tall. So they come back to the center, quick takedown, and then an escape on the edge. So Winter is up by a score of 4-2. Jesus Ibarra, the Mustang freshman, trailing. Minute 5 to go in the first period. The dual score right now is 19-11. So the Mustangs are in it right now, but they're going to be giving up 2 more open weights. So they're going to give up at least 2 more. Actually, they're going to give up 3 open weights. So they're going to give up 18 points in forfeits. There's a takedown again for Winter. 35 seconds to go in the first period. So the Mustangs at this point, in order to win this duel, are pretty much going to have to win every single match, which is a tough task. Winter continues to ride. It's like he's trying to hook up a cradle. He does. I think he's got it, but not tilted over far enough. Winter's way up high on the body of Ibarra, but Ibarra trying to get control of one of his arms to lift Winter over the top. He's not going to be able to get it done. 6-2 is the score at the end of the first period. Jacob Winter leading Jesus Ibarra. Again, we start with the free escape. Oh, actually, we're going to start just on their feet. They start in the neutral position. Here come the Bear Hugs. Who's going to win this battle? They're side by side right now with 1:45 to go. They fall down, and Ibarra had pretty good position, but they'll end up going out of bounds side by side. When the big boys wrap up like that, somebody is usually going to end up on their back. Minute and a half to go in the second period. Jesus Ibarra trailing by a score of 6-2. Well, they'll split apart. There's a shot by Ibarra. Got a double-leg shot, but Winter will put all the weight on him. Knock him down flat, and now steps into a reverse half Nelson. And Jesus Ibarra is in trouble with 1 minute and 5 seconds to go in the second period. Winter trying to settle it out. Ibarra trying to keep the shoulders up off the mat, but it's pretty flat down there. And the pin time is 1 minute or two. Let's try that again. How about 3:05? 3:05 the pin time. Give the Wizards another 6 points. So we'll have one more open weight here. Jack Cuck will step out and pick up a forfeit for Windsor. Angel Del Campo coming up in just a second. Ackley Building Center is your one-stop center for projects around your home, office, or yard. Ackley Building Center at 1402 Mill Street in Brush. Also, Buildings by Design is one of our sponsors tonight. The most important thing to buying a new building or starting a new design build project is picking the right company to build it. Call Pat Walter, Travis Lefevre, or Jared Samples for your free bid. 970-842-5873 or buildingsbydesign.com. 842-5873 or buildingsbydesign.com. So Del Campo is going to receive a forfeit. He will not have to wrestle Robert Bishop Cotner, so give the Mustangs 6 points. And then the Mustangs will give up 6 points at 106 pounds here in just a second. So Jonathan Lewis will come out and take a forfeit. Morgan Federal Bank, your one-stop shop for all your banking and investment needs, from checking to savings to IRAs, 321 Ensign Street. And Morgan Federal Bank, there is a difference. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. So we're up to 113 pounds, and we've got just 2 matches left tonight. Ian Wingstrom, the junior, is out underway, taking on Joel Solomon. Solomon on a shot. Wingstrom blocks him away, and they'll come back to the center. Cody Carpenter will be the final match of the night. They split apart. Minute 40 to go in the first period of this match. 37-17 now the score in the duel. Mustangs are down by 20, and even with 2 pins, they still have one more forfeit they're going to give up. So the Mustangs are going to lose this one. Solomon in on a single leg, kind of picks that knee up, bends the knee backwards of Ian Wingstrom, and that'll get a potentially dangerous call, so they'll start it over. They try again, forehead to forehead. Wingstrom trying to get a hold of a wrist. Here's Solomon in on another shot, but Wingstrom jumps back. Under a minute to go. Solomon in on another reach for a single leg. Wingstrom just keeping him away. Front headlock by Ian Wingstrom. Now they'll split apart. 40 seconds left in the first period. They continue to work forehead to forehead. Under 30 seconds to go in the first period now. Wingstrom with his first attempt at a shot, but he won't get very far. Wingstrom reaches through again, can't get anywhere. Ten seconds left in the period. Another shot by Solomon. Wingstrom just trying to slip by on the side, but he's not going to be able to get it done before time expires. So we'll be scoreless moving into the second period. Choice goes to Wingstrom. So Wingstrom is going to work from the bottom to start out the second period. So for the first time in this duel, a Windsor Wizard has actually ridden from the top of from the referee's position. Every single other opportunity the Wizards have had, they've just given up that free escape. But Joel Solomon is going to ride. Chases Wingstrom out of bounds, and they'll come back in. Here's a sit out, and Wingstrom gets his escape. So Ian Wingstrom with the lead, 1-0. They're going to go out of bounds. Wingstrom gets shoved out of bounds. They're on their feet. Wingstrom takes a pretty weak shot and gets blocked off. Wingstrom a couple of times reaching for an ankle, can't get it. They continue to work forehead to forehead. Wingstrom working his way around clockwise, and now had a hold of a front headlock and couldn't do anything with it. So they'll skip apart and come back to the center. 48 seconds to go in the second period. Just one more match after this one, and it'll wrap up our duel tonight. Cody Carpenter, the final Mustang, set to wrestle. Here's Wingstrom on a single leg, trying to get it pulled in. Now he's got his head between the legs, and Solomon sprawled out on top of him. Wingstrom still hanging on now, trying to switch up to a double leg. Got a hold of both legs. We'll get a stalemate call from there. Probably a good thing for Ian Wingstrom. He wasn't in a very good position. So 15 seconds. Wingstrom tries to pick an ankle off the whistle. Can't do it. They're side by side. And now Solomon trying to slip in behind. Solomon will take down Ian Wingstrom. There is a 2-point takedown awarded. And the Mustang fans are not happy about that. But the takedown is given. So we start out on our feet for the third period. And Ian Wingstrom trails by a score of 2-1. Going to need a takedown to win it. Minute 40 to go in the match. They split apart and they'll come back in. Minute and a half left for Ian Wingstrom. Down by 1. Here's Solomon in on a single leg. Trying to get it picked up high. Takes Wingstrom down. So Ian Wingstrom down 4-1 now. Minute 14 to go in the match. They'll hit the edge of the mat and come back to the center and do it again. Solomon will jump on the left side. Wingstrom starts with a switch, makes his way to his feet. There's the escape. So he's down 4-2. Needs a takedown to tie. 1 minute to go in the match for Ian Wingstrom. Wrestlers on their feet. Head tapping. Now they split apart. Right in front of the home crowd. Here's a single leg takedown by Solomon. And Wingstrom is able to regain his hips and is able to get away as they go out of bounds. Wingstrom on his feet, again trailing by a score of 4-2. We're down to 37 seconds left. Here's a good single leg by Wingstrom. Can he pull it in? Solomon is able to begin to get his hips away. Able to get his toes as far away from Wingstrom as possible. The Mustang Jr. needs the takedown to tie up this match. He's trailing 4-2. Wingstrom losing that leg, and he's about to be taken down. He does get taken down. So Wingstrom will go down by a score of 6-2, and that will be the final score. So it'll be 3 more points for the Windsor Wizards. 40-17, the dual score right now. Central Auto Parts. For all of your auto supply needs, stop by Central Auto Parts at West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. Premier Farm Credit, another one of our sponsors, committed to serving those in production ag. Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending. Cody Carpenter in on a single leg takedown. Our final match of the night here. Reaching through, had his opponent is Jacob Messimer, and Messimer sprawled out on top of him. Laid out on top of the body, trying to reach for a far ankle to block off Cody Carpenter. Carpenter had a pretty good shot at it, just couldn't finish that clean takedown, so now he's still trying to pull it in. He sits on a hip, trying to walk up the body. Hooks an ankle, and he's in better position now. Carpenter still trying to work his way up the body and earn a takedown. Probably going to get a stalemate call from this position pretty quickly. They're going to go side by side now. Carpenter gets turned, flips over the other way, and now he's going to step in control. 55 seconds to go in the first period. Carpenter a big dump, and he'll put Messimer right back down. The Mustang sophomore leads it 2-0. Crossface coming from the right side. Now gives up on that. Back to that crossface from the right side. Trying to wrap in a right leg, but he's getting up pretty high on the body. Hanging off to the side. Messimer trying to just sneak out the back door right behind, but they'll go out of bounds. Probably good for Cody Carpenter. He was not in a good position. So he'll ride with 23 seconds left in the first period. Messimer up onto his feet. Big tight waist and a side drag will put him back down. Cody Carpenter riding. Messimer starting to get turned back in towards him. Hard crossface from Carpenter. Now he's going to lose it and give up the escape. Loses it just at the end of the period there as you heard the buzzer. So 2-1. Carpenter leads as we head to the second period. Carpenter on a shot, but he doesn't get it, and Messimer slides in behind for the takedown and gives up the... Messimer immediately lets him go. So we're tied 3-3. Carpenter in on another shot, but he's down flat on his stomach, hanging on to a single leg. Trying not to lose his leverage here. Cody Carpenter still hanging on. He's actually going to give up the takedown as Messimer draped himself over the body and was able to get it. So it's 5-3. Jacob Messimer leads Cody Carpenter of the Mustangs. Minute to go in the match. There's the locked hands. So it's going to be locked hands on Messimer. But they're not stopping it yet because Cody Carpenter's in a position where he might be able to work a reversal. It's like he's not going to get it, but he will get the penalty point. So that'll make it 5-4. So there's another automatic escape. And that'll tie us up 5-5. Wrestlers on their feet, this final match of the night. We've got one open weight at 126 to finish out the night. Cody Carpenter on his feet. He'll get shoved out of bounds. 34 seconds to go in the second period. They continue to work. Messimer shoving Cody Carpenter around, pushes him out of bounds. So with just under 20 seconds to go in the second period, they'll come back to their feet. Carpenter tries a shot, but wow. Messimer ended up behind him and is able to come through with a reverse half Nelson. And Cody Carpenter's in trouble here. Trying to keep his right shoulder up off the mat. The period will come to a close. But he'll be down 10-5 at the end of the second period. Carpenter is heading down to the bottom of the referee's position, but he'll immediately get that free escape. Only once in this entire duel have we seen a Windsor Wizard actually ride. Every time they've given up that automatic escape. Chosen to go takedowns. Has paid off for them. But from a skill standpoint, you wonder how that affects their ability to ride. (10-6) the score right now. Cody Carpenter trailing. Minute 20 to go in the match. His opponent, Jacob Messimer from Windsor, reached in for a single leg, but then gave up on it. Northern Colorado Title, one of our sponsors tonight. For all of your title needs, visit Tim Weimer at Northern Colorado Title at 205 West Kiowa in Fort Morgan. Also Bijou T-Quest at 302 Main Street in Fort Morgan, a sponsor tonight. Here go the two wrestlers on their side, and now Messimer ends up in control. Almost in a guillotine position, but now he's got Cody Carpenter sucked back, and the back points are coming with 33 seconds left in the match. So Cody Carpenter, right now he's down 12-6 with at least 3 more back points coming. Clock under 20 seconds. Carpenter looks like he's able to keep his right shoulder up off the mat for the final 10 seconds left here. But looks like he is going to end up losing this match. And final score, this one will be 15-6. So that's the final actual match. We'll have one more forfeit coming up here. As mentioning one of our sponsors, Bijou T-Quest, letter jackets, t-shirts, banners, and more. They're also your local experts in customizing your team sports apparel and insurance connection, whether it's health, life, or dental insurance, or Medicare supplements. See Sharon Kaufman at Insurance Connection. And Equitable Savings and Loan, a sponsor tonight in Northeast Colorado's hometown savings and loan in Fort Morgan and Brush. Up now, it's our Mustang post-game show brought to you by High Plains Bank in Wiggins. No matter what your loan needs, stop by High Plains Bank at 502 Central Avenue in Wiggins. Also inquire about checking and savings accounts as well as CDs at High Plains Bank in Wiggins. We started off the night with 5 junior varsity matches tonight. It is Parents' Night here at Fort Morgan High School. At 132 pounds, Seth Gapter was pinned. Moises Sebastian got a pin in a minute 44. Gregory Ferguson was pinned in a minute 29. Oliver Wunsch was pinned in just 26 seconds. And Chris Shriver lost a 12-5 decision in the JV matches. At 132 pounds, where we started our varsity wrestling, Jacob Gherkin opened the night with a 17-1 technical fall of Vince Hooley. A good start for the Mustangs, but a whole lot of Windsor after that. Caleb Sills lost a 21-7 match to Josh Donkel. 10 takedowns for Donkel in that match against Caleb Sills. Powers Wilnow was pinned in 2 minutes 36 seconds. Derek Gray lost a tough 8-6 decision in overtime to Troy Carroll. So 8-6 that one in overtime, in the full 3 periods of overtime in that one as well. Brandon Hoffman did get an 11-4 decision over Vinny Gonzalez. Ben Hokenadel got a 10-7 win over Brandon Browser. And the Mustangs were open at 182. Jesus Ibarra was pinned by Jacob Winter in 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Mustangs were open at 220. Angel Del Campo took a forfeit at 285 for the Mustangs. Mustangs were open again at 106. Ian Wingstrom lost a tough one. He lost a 6-2 decision to Joel Sullivan. And that final match there, Cody Carpenter lost 15-6. And the Mustangs again gave up the forfeit at 126. So that is the final for tonight, 50-17, the dual score. Again, 1 week from Saturday, we will have the Morgan County triple duel on the air, and that will be, I believe, on our sister station, 1010 KSIR. And if I remember that starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. Make sure and tune in to Sports with John Beltran, and he will keep you updated on that here on Morgan County's B106. So that is going to wrap up our coverage tonight. Again, the Mustangs lose the duel 50-17, the final score. The Windsor Wizards come in and beat Fort Morgan here at home. I'm Jeremy Weathers on Morgan County's B106.